So we'll just start with a little bit of stretching. So just start with the breath, shoulder width apart, hands about just wider than shoulder width. Just going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, raising the arms, stretching up, and a nice deep breath out. Nice and the breaths are kind of the same in this kind of exercise. You breathe in, and then at the point of the full in breath, you kind of hold it, squeeze it, and then release it out. A little bit how we do the third suburi with the sword. So there's a kind of compression with the breath. You breathe in, hold it, and release it through the mouth. Release up. You see if you can really expand the rib cage through the breath, especially the back of the rib cage. Come up. Okay, just one more in. Good. Okay, wider on the jaw, you're going to take a step up, reach up to the sky, and then all the way over the back. Breath in, hold it at this point, and then release it out. And changing the foot, nice deep breath in. Pressing up with the chest, high, you come up. Good. Okay, to the back, a bit wider. In this case, kind of stretch down, breath in. All the way over, looking to the ground. Match the head. You can try and keep the lead straight. And breathing back up. Just allow the breath to lead the movement. Especially in this one, try and get a feeling when you make the initial movement that you're really going to stretch up first through the spine, keep the spine elongated. And this is a case again where you're going to just go with the pelvis. It's quite easy to do this kind of to do this kind of punching with the shoulders up. The first thing is kind of feel that you can kind of stretch up, and then feel that you kind of go over the pelvis here, so that the front of the chest is all the time extended. You're really bending from the pelvis and the back, and then draw the arms all the way over, keeping this extension long and not curling again. Keep also long. The stretch is a little bit more difficult. So use the breath to kind of elongate the torso. Good. One last side. Breath out. Okay, taking the jaw over the top of the head, lifting the arms on. You're going to breathe in and curl all the way. Well, as you can. I never really release it. Come back to neutral position. Again, try and feel the kind of long in the spine, and then really from the pelvis, rotating up. Really kind of expanding the chest in both directions, left and right. You can also, in this exercise, with the hands on the stick, you can press them out. As you go, you can kind of press the arms out, increase the This is really to increase the feeling of spreading from the shoulder blade. This way and back. One more time. Okay, from the same position, a little bit wider with the feet. Again, see if you can keep the knees kind of straight, keep the torso long, and you're gonna roll down, bending the torso, twisting up one foot to the opposite foot, and then back down to the opposite side. So again, you're gonna breathe in, stretch down, try and keep the torso long and extended. Really feel the stretch in the hamstring. Good. Okay, this time taking a really deep stance with the legs. Really deep. You're going to be parallel with the feet, and you're going to stretch up, quite similar to the first stretch. In this case, really stretching up through the back of the leg, yeah, and rolling up through the body this way, and stretching up, bringing the jaw as far as you can over the back. Most of the weight in the heel and stretching up through the ball of the foot. Yep, and back up. Chest up to the sky. Okay. So it goes like this, stretching up, breathe in. Stretch up through the ball of the foot. Hold it. Back. Just change sides, alternate each time. As wide as you can, really. Stretching up. Try and really lengthen the back leg and increase the stretch into that side. So the right side hip. We'll do one we've not done before. There's two kind of kicking variations. One of them's really difficult, and one of them's kind of easier. And this involves kind of straight legs up. we'll do the kind of easy one. This one, you breathe in here like this, way over. Oh no, wait, sorry, I get it wrong. It's the other one. You breathe in here, and then as you bring the jaw back, as it gets to kind of eye level, you're going to swing the back leg up, and then bring it down to here. Okay, and then you change leg. So you're in a kind of wideish posture or kind of natural posture this way. So you breathe in here, stretching the jaw up this way. And then as you bring it back over, breathing out to the eye level, swing up with the leg and then bring it back down. And then all the way down. It goes like this. Okay? We'll try it like this. So left foot forward. You stretch up, come down, kick up, and then breathe out. And then changing the leg. Breathe in. Move the jaw back, swing the leg up, and keep going. This is something we never do with kicking in martial arts like this. You actually do it with a kind of straight leg, so it's like a footballer's kick. This way. This way. So you do this kind of motion. And do it as the arms are kind of quite high. So the arms are high, kind of eye level, and then swing it up and swing it all the way back this way. Okay, we'll do a few. So release. You're going to swing through the back of the leg. Good, just one more time. On both sides. Left side. Check. Good. Okay, one more for the toes. You know, this one where you stretch up, hands together, stretching up to the toes, and rolling all the way down. Nice and slow, all the way staying on the toe. And back up, staying on the toes, breathing in, stretching up, down, this way. So breathing in here, down, in, fine. Well, there's kind of one last one. It's kind of an easy one. This one, you stand with the feet like this. Okay, and the Joe's, in this case, is kind of resting on the ground like this. This is a bit like punting in Oxford. This is like standing sailing, or in Venice. So the feet are like this, the hands are like this, and you roll the body forward this way. And the arms do this motion. First, we start by going this way, and then you reverse and you go this way. The key in this is that the body's going to kind of rock forward. So you're kind of rowing the body and rolling the arms as you do it. Okay, so this is like an in-breath here. Back and then forward and out. Keeping the chest wide, rocking the body forward through the heels and back. So you go in from the back foot, now in the heel of the front foot, and then roll through the front foot. It's actually quite a nice exercise for the feet. So rolling back. Feel that you're kind of rocking through the feet. So you're pressing your weight through the feet. This way. Good. And then just reverse direction. So you're going to go out with the arms and roll back. Out with the arms, roll back. Out with the arms, roll back. Just really feel the weight shifting in the feet if you do it. And the shoulders nice and wide and the arms really rolling through it. And just keep the breath going all the time. Good. And then change to the left foot forward. You come out first and then roll back. Out, roll back. Roll back. Good, and then reverse direction, so you close to the body, and then rolling out. Okay, good. And then we just finish with, again, back to the beginning, shoulder width apart, hands a little bit wider, and then just nice deep breaths in. Stretch right up. In this case, a little bit faster than the beginning. Breathing in, and pushing out. One last time. Okay, very good. Okay, we'll start real basic, just in a ski kamai, real basic ski. Just thrusting forward and coming back. Thrusting forward, coming back. We'll just do about 20 on each side. And then back. Good. Nice. Good. Nice, and just switch to the right side, right foot forward, and just the same. Nice and calm, thrusting, rolling back. Good. Good. Okay, we're going to shiho, ski. So in this case, goes like this. Go 1, roll to the back. 2, and now the right foot slides out. Roll to the back here. 3, 4, and then you're back into this side. Okay. In this case, you go left, forward, roll to the back, right. Now the right foot shifts, rotate 3/4, strike, and thrust. And then just roll back into the kamae. Okay, it goes like this, goes. Ich, ni, san, shi, and then back to the kamae. Ni, san, shi, ni, san, shi. Good, keep going. Shiho, ski. Okay, good. And then just change. You're going to start on the right side. So this is just so that you make the rotation on both sides. So you thrust in right, change. Yeah, now it's the left foot that rotates, and then find the movement here. This, this. Okay, give it a try. It's in your own time. So right side forward. You do shiho. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're back. Okay. Good. Okay, good. So we're going to do happo all together on the left side. Let's start on the left. Goes like this. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And now I change diagonal. Go. Rock. Si. Hatch. And then all the way back to the beginning. Okay, give it a try. So together in the same way. Goes ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rock. Teach. And then back to command. Good. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rock. Teach. And command. Good. And then change right side forward. Just to confuse. Right side goes ich. Change ni. Change sound. She. Diagonals. Go. Rock. Good. Hatch. And all the way back. Again goes ich. Ni. Sound. She. Go. Rock. See. Hatch. Good, just in your own time. Go ahead. Good. Okay, great. So we'll look at some of the Kuijo patterns of movement. These are, we're going to look at number 2 and 3, and then we'll see if we can go anywhere else with them. The 2 and 3 are really great for two things: compression patterns in the footwork, and basically using this idea of wedging in triangles through the movement. So we'll look at the first, number 2. This one, you roll first back. This is a block high to a Jodanski. And I'm thrusting up high. And in this case, I'm going to block a strike to the leg here. And then I'm going to move around and thrust to the side of the person. Okay. So in this case, we'll just do the very first movement. This is rolling back, pressing from the front foot and blocking in a spiral here. And then from this position, pressing from the back foot and thrusting in to the throat. So it goes like this. You rock back, and then you press forward this way. It's a nice basic combination. Pressing back, blocking with a spiral, and then releasing forward with the throat. Okay, so just 2 movements. 1 and 2. This way. Okay, give it a try. It's in your own time. You're blocking Jodanski in this case, so that's high ski to the throat.
Is the block that way, or is it that way?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, good. It's good. Yeah, good. This in this case, it's the thrust coming here, and what I'm going to do is roll the jaw out this way. So it's what it's. Ooh, hang on, how can I show? What it's doing is like this spiral movement. So what it's doing is that. See that? So it's coming out that way. Okay, the key to this one is that I use a spiral, that I don't just use a push this way, and that as I do it, what I'm also not looking to do is get to the back of the jaw and then try and block, because in that case I'm basically too slow for the throw. So all I'm really interested in this case is getting 2 hands on the jaw and pressing back in a spiral. So just so you can get this in one motion, goes 1. Right. So when I'm making contact, the hand's somewhere around here on the jaw, and I'm not looking to get to the back of the jaw because this takes too much time. So what I want to do, and the other fault is that if I don't have a hand on the jaw as the contact comes, the jaw presses into the jaw, in the head as well as a bonus. So what I want to do is get both hands on the jaw and this way, and then in this motion, this is where I find the back of the jaw, and then find the thrust. So if you do like this, imagine the contact's coming in. I basically press through the jaw this way, and then through the hips, roll it back up, and then I find the end of the jaw and make the ski. Yeah. So just try and break this down a little bit, but do this in 1, roll back, and then pressing through. Okay.
Clockwise.
Clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, this is also quite an efficient movement. So later, what you do is you basically make the contact and then thrust it straight back in, so that the person, as the contact's made, basically the contact comes in and then the thrust is going to press straight back into it. So this is quite an efficient movement. In this case, what I don't do is this. So I'm not coming back into Kamae in this case, and then thrusting. What I do in this case is just make the block, perform the block this position. So I'm in this position, and then from here just thrust straight back into it. Okay? So take this slow, but the feelings that from the contact and the block, I feed off this, and then straight into the thrust this way. Okay? This is actually later. This is just one movement, rolling back, thrusting in. Okay, but now take it nice and slow, so you can focus on the footwork. This way, and then this way. Okay, give it a try. Just a few more.
Michael,
Yeah.
do I stay on the line?
No, you wedge slightly off. That's what. So in this case, also such a good point actually. If I come straight down the line here, as I make this movement, I'm still directly in the center line of the person. So if they thrust in, even if I get this block, they can basically just thrust in around it and come in again. So what I want to do is block off in a spiral. I'm actually off the line this way. So I'm basically creating a new line, which is very slightly off the line. So I'm slightly wedging off. And then from here, I can come straight back in directly. If I go down the line, I can't make that movement. So in this case, I wedge off this way. Such a good point, because there's times in the Joe work where we go straight down the line, hold the line, and there's times when you come off the line and strike. So in the case, the best example of this is the first Kuijo, where you just come straight off the line and strike. So I come totally off the line and strike through. Sometimes you stay on the line and roll back this way and open the person out. And in that case, when I hold the line, I'm basically blocking and blowing the Joe, blocking the partner's Joe off the line totally, so that it gives me a way to get in. In this case, what I'm doing is just wedging slightly off the line this way, and then thrusting back in. So usually in the Bokken, we do either 1 or 2. We block and hold the line, or we come off the line and finish with a cut. In the Joe work, there's this third way where we're wedging off the line, and this is a kind of special movement that we only really do in the Joe work. Okay, so this
thank you.
Slight wedge off to the left side, this way, and then pressing in. Yep. Okay, good. So we'll do the opposite side. This is the attacker's fall. So in the case of the first move, it's very basic. You thrust in here. It's where the movement's been made, and basically I'm through the block. The Joe is going to come back towards the throat. So I need to protect myself from this attack. So you do in this case, sometimes also in the Jo work, you'll press back and block. In case of the first Suburi, in the first Kuijo as well, you do this kind of movement. In this case, what I do is enter through the movement. So in this case, from the back foot, what I do is block and enter at the same time. So in this case, this is really an entry into the strike. So it goes like this, strike in, you get blocked out, and then the thrust comes towards the throat. Back foot comes in, and I step off in a wedge this way. And the Jo comes up to protect the head. Yeah, now from this position, what I do is adjust the hand, and then I strike low for the knee this way. Okay. So what you're doing is really entering around the block this way. Yeah, right underneath it, really bending from the pelvis, and then from here, shifting down. And this is really low in the body, so it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, and then adjust it. Okay, give it a try. So this is like a low Gerengaishi for the knee. Let's see. Okay, good. Ah, yeah, tricky.
Can you just show the footwork again, please, Michael? Yeah, thank you.
So I go like this. Yeah. Now from here, I come from the back foot, and I slightly advance through this way. What I'm doing is like this way through, and then from here, swinging the hip and then adjusting the back leg to make the strike this way. Okay. Just like this. Yeah. Yeah. And then adjusting it this way. Okay. In terms of the strike and the intention, although we're doing it in 2 movements with a block, later what this is just one attack where I feed off the block. So later this one becomes direct. So what I want to do is have the feeling of entering again. So one of the things what I want to avoid is this feeling of coming back. Yeah, and then trying to come into the movement this way. What I want to do in this case is that the block is an entry that's allowing me to really get into a position that I can just make the strike. So what I want with the block is like this kind of feeling, where I'm actually advancing in, the spine's free, and then from here I can just adjust down into the strike. And then later this gives me the ability just to enter and strike down this way for the knee. And that's what you're going to do later in the book. In terms of form work that we practice, this is similar to the movement in the 31. So from this position, this one, this way, when you're coming down into the ground. The only difference is I don't come into the ground, but the feeling's the same of entering in and striking down. And in this case, you're going to do with a block first. So this, this, this. And I want to get really deep into the knee. So this is a kind of an entry block, and then a strike. Okay, good. That's it, now good. That's it. Good. Okay. Okay, good. And just watch one thing in the attack. This kind of thing of counterbalancing back. So what I really want to avoid is this coming in and then doing this motion, throwing the Jo out to the front, and then pulling the backside out this way. So we're kind of splitting. This is where I'm really going to use the legs to adjust the position. So because you're striking low, the problem is either I leave the legs kind of locked and I do this kind of thing and break the balance out this way, or I pull the back out this way to do the strike. But what I need to do is really adjust the lower body to make the strike. So I'm actually coming into this position. So it's really a lower position with the body. And that means that I can maintain the extension in the spine and maintain the feeling of down this way without going out and without not adjusting and throwing the weight out in this kind of position. So just see if you can really adjust the legs. It starts really from here. This is kind of low in the legs, and then from here, stay low and curl into the ground this way. So if you do this now as one, you basically look for a spiral entry with the body this way, but not pulling out and sticking the butt out. Okay, give it a try. Don't stick your butt out, in other words. That's it, yeah, good. You want to really ground it, bam. So it needs to be a really heavy strike. That's it. Good. Good. Okay, we'll go back to the defender roll. So you're going to defend from that position now. So you roll back first, find the thrust. Now you imagine your partner's coming around and they're going to strike for the front knee. So this strike is coming at an angle this way and it's coming right for the knee here, this way. Okay, so what I need to do in this case from this position is adjust off to the right side and wedge against the jaw this way. So I'm placing my jaw in the position where my knee was. So in this case, it goes like this. It goes 1, 2, and then from here, adjust out to the right, and 3. Find this position here. Okay. I want to create a strong extension to block this Hayaganshi move. So it goes here, and then adjusting around. Don't shift the hands, just move to this position here, like this. And again, I want to be kind of wide in the legs and strong extension, especially in the arms. Okay, give it a try. So it goes now like this. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that. Okay, give it a try. That's it. Okay, good. Nice. That's it. Okay, good. And again, this really works on an idea of kind of triangular wedges. So the first movement is a kind of a small wedge actually, but this way comes in. Now from here, I've got 3 options. I can basically hold the position and try and block it this way down. If I block it this way, and as the strike comes in, it basically blows the jaw out this way, and then I lose the connection with the jaw. So if my movement's too shallow, my triangle's too small, too acute, it's gonna be too weak to block the strike, and the strike's gonna meet at an angle where I can't control the jaw. The other way I can go is too big, where I come out to this position. Okay, this gives me a really strong block, but it leaves me totally exposed here for the next movement. So I can get to a really strong position, but too far out that I can't return back to make a response, and it gives me a too big an opening. So I want to find this middle place in terms of the triangle, which is about here, 45 degrees here, where I create a really small opening. As you can see, this is the opening I want to give here. So it's not kind of closed, but it's just slightly open. So I want to meet the jaw at a certain kind of angle, body down, and I also want to invite an opening for the body, this way that I can respond. Okay. So it goes now like this. Just look at this kind of wedging triangle. 1, 2, 3. And I just feel comfortable in the body that I can just move. Okay, just try a few more. That's it. Okay, good. Okay, good. So actually, if you look at the old books, Bernie's got volume 2 shows the Kuijo, and it's actually the old series of the Kuijo. So it's before they were slightly adjusted. So the old form goes like this: you roll back, thrust in. Here I find the block, and I basically feed off that block, and I find a strike. So this finishes on the right side with a yokomi to the head. So the form finishes earlier than we practice it now. So the form now is a bit more extended with 1 extra movement. So just try this movement. A nice movement. Just here, block, and then from here I release the hand up and strike down. Just wedging off the line this way. And again, later that you would feed off the block straight into the strike. See this coming straight into it. Okay, but just take this nice and slow. So you block with a spiral, thrust in, block for the leg, protect the leg, and then you release it right side and strike down with a yoku. Okay, give it a try. So this is the older form. You'll see this in the old videos as well, from the 70s. That's it. Good. Okay. Good. Okay, great. Good. Okay, so that form works if my attacker does nothing after the strike for the knee. So this form here, the attacker comes here and then strikes down, and then the block, and then nothing else happens, and that gives me the ability to block the jaw and then come in for the strike for the yokumen. But in the case the person's connected during the block and then they can make another move. Now you make this move as the attacker. So you thrust in, you block low, strike for the knee, and then from this position, because I've actually got an opening, what I do is draw the jaw back and thrust in for a ski. Okay, so now you add an extra move to the end. The thrust high, roll up block, strike for the knee, and then draw the body back and press in for the ski this way. Okay, so it goes like this. From this position, 1, 2, 3, draw it back, thrust in. Okay, give it a try like this. I'll do a few. So you've got high thrust, lock, strike to the knee, and then draw it back, find the thrust. So, hey, hey, whoosh. Good. Very nice. Good. Good. Okay, nice. So that's the attack in the form that we practice it now is the basic. So what you do in the other side, you roll back here, strike up, I wedge off to the right side and block. Now this is given the opening for the chest. So you've got this opening to the chest. This is where the ski's going to come through here. And what I do is wedge off the line and thrust into the side of the person. Go straight to the ribs. So this goes, just watch the line. It goes here, thrust in. I wedge off to the right side here, and then I wedge off all the way back to the left side. This way. It's a big movement. This is 2 triangular wedges, left, right, and then left. Rolling off, thrust, wedge off to the right side, and then wedge off to the left with a finish. Okay, give it a try. This is the response. This is the basic form now. Hey. 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 Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Okay, good. And then just do this the full form again, and just really pay attention to the compressions in the footwork. While I'm doing this kind of solo, it doesn't kind of matter so much. But when you come to do this in a partner practice, my ability to just sink the weight into one foot and press out of it this way is what gives me the ability to blend with the person. If I kind of mess this up, or I'm in the wrong foot, or I'm in kind of both feet, the blend would be kind of impossible, especially at speed. So just focus in this case on the compressions in the footwork. The first foot is in the front, so I press to the front foot, and that releases me to move back. Now from here, I press from the back foot to the front, right in here. Now from here, I'm going to press back into the front foot and find this rotation here, and again into the back foot. Actually, it's a nice combination. You go front foot, back foot, front foot, back foot. So you're doing this kind of pattern. This is a block, thrust, block, thrust. So in the blocks, the movement's originating in the front foot, the ski in the back foot, again the block in the front foot, and then the ski in the back foot. This way. And then you finish even here. Yeah. So just pay attention to the feet as you make the movement, and just see if you can get the ability to press in the foot and move, press into the foot and move, press into the foot and move. Especially difficult on the third, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 are easy compressions, and 2 and 3 are difficult compressions. 3 and 4 are difficult compressions. Which you're also adding a wedging movement. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So there's a ton of variations for all the Kuijo, and they either mean finishing the form earlier on another movement, like this slightly older form, or they mean changing the ending to it. Or you can also do variations where the attacker changes the attack. So in this case, we'll do a variation on the end, so changing the last attack. They basically use the same principles, but you just do a slightly different movement. So in this case, you're going to go like this. You go 1, 2, 3. I use the same idea of wedging, but I do it from the front foot this time, and I strike with the end of the jo this way. Okay, in this variation, the tip of the jo is going right towards the head, basically towards the teeth. So it's going right towards the head. So in this case, you do this 1, 2, 3, and before I shifted the foot and did this, and now what I'm going to do is shift and slide in this way, and then press the back hip in. At the same time, the back of the jo is going to slide out this way. Okay. Quite similar to these movements we were doing yesterday. This work. Okay, but in this case, the whole body slides through with it. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and then the whole body shifts and slides in. And in this case, the tip goes to the head. This way. Okay, give it a try. This is one nice variant.
Can I just see the footwork in the last few steps, please?
You're here in this position. See? I'll put it down a little bit. Let's see. Okay, you're in this position. What I do is front foot, back foot together, that way. In this case, go like this. What I need to do is really make the body small in this case. So I'm in this position, this and slide out this way. Or in this case, the jaw's a bit higher, that way, for the head. I'm basically coming into this kind of position. Okay, so I'm really kind of.
Okay.
You go 1, 2, 3, wedge and slide through. Yeah.
Why do you keep your feet together, Michael, rather than stepping forward with your right foot when you want to hit the other person's head?
If I do this, if I step forward, I basically miss the person. So I kind of slide past them. But in this case, what I want to do is what I want to do is be in this position here, this way. So I'm pressing through, and then I'm going to step through it after the strike, this way.
I see. Okay.
Contact, I'm going to be in this position. And then from here, it actually gives me the ability to change depending on what I do after that. But basically, in this case, what I want to do is really make the body small and weight through the strike this way. So this is in a case where I put the feet together. This.
Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I basically step a little bit to the left.
Yeah.
So
You come in this position, and now I go like this out to the side. So it's a wedge off to the side, but I do it by pressing the hips directly. Rather than in the basic form, what I do is wedge off to the left and slide the back hip out. In this case, what I do is wedge off to the left and pull the back hip. It goes forward with it in this case. It goes that way.
got it. Thank you.
Got it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, good. And you can actually, this strike you can do in this way to the head, which is a kind of kill. And then the other way you can do it is as a control, where I'm basically going to control the arm of the person. So in this case, you can change it a little bit lower. It goes 1, 2, 3. The basic feeling's the same, but now I come down onto the elbow this way. So I'm pressing down into the elbow. And in this case, I'm making contact on the arm, and then I'm pressing right through into the body this way. So this is a kind of controlling press. So what you do in this case is the same body work. Go 1, 2, 3, and then I press the whole body and then press down through the jaw this way. And the body weight is being pressed all the way through the jaw. The jaw's at a slight angle, and then I can basically press them away with the jaw this way. It's kind of press down rather than a strike. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really means I need to transfer the whole weight of my body through the movement. Okay, so just watch the last move. It's very heavy. This way. I need to land weight straight away in this case. It's like cushioning the person through the movement. That's right. Long. Yeah, exactly. Good. Hello. That's it, Catherine. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's it. Good. Okay, and then just play with these forms. So you got the basic one is rolling back, striking in, coming to the block, and then finishing with the thrust back. Nice basic compressions. And then the other one you can try is finishing the form earlier. Here,
here, blocking back, and then striking with a yokomen down for the head. And then you've got these two variations here, here, one striking for the head, and a second striking for the forearm. So, and back. Yeah, so just play with those kind of variations. And if you can think of any other movements, do them also. The posture should give you the ability to change into any. There's lots of goofy variations which never work, but these are the kind of basic standard ones. You can check on YouTube. You go look on YouTube. Variations for, most of them don't work. Fine. Just, okay, good. Okay, good. So that's Kuijo number 2. We didn't get time for number 3. Maybe we do number 3 tomorrow. But the good thing about these forms, or the thing that these are really training, one, compression patterns in their feet. But the second one, this feeling of wedging over the line and working with triangles. And Joe's really perfect for this because it gives me the ability to wedge and block and then find my way back in the way that the bokken doesn't really work in this area. So this is some of the specific work of the Joe. And then just looking at these variations this way. And what you basically want is a form where you can, you basically use the variations as a test for the form. So if the variations don't work, it's probably because my training in the basics kind of loose. So I need to go back to the basic and train more in the basic way. And then the only test of the variations is whether they work or not, whether I can blend or not. And if I can't blend with them, then get rid of them. So, and then create some more ones. Okay. Right. どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
All right. Thank you.